everyone. This week I'm reviewing The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. I am into murder mysteries, but I also did pick this up because it's bright yellow, and I'm simple-minded, I guess. I'm going to try and avoid spoilers as much as possible, but the way that I'll be talking, there will probably be some big hints, so I would recommend reading the book first and then come back to this video. So The Hunting Party is about a group of friends who've known each other since university or earlier, and they meet up for their annual trip away at New Year's. The book switches from the point of view of some of the friends, plus the hotel manager and the gamekeeper of the isolated hotel that they've chosen in the middle of the Scottish Highlands. Someone has died, but we don't know who, when, or why, and the book takes us through the previous days leading up to the discovery of the death. So I'm going to talk about what I really enjoyed, first of all. I am a sucker for a good murder mystery. I really did enjoy Hunting Party overall. I had a lot of trouble putting it down. During the last few chapters, I stayed up till 2 a.m. Because I needed to finish it and I needed to know what had happened. And I really appreciate it when a book makes me do that because I get so sucked into the story. It's very twisty-turny, like most murder mysteries. We delve into the characters' backstories. I was teased enough, just enough, to make me want more without getting annoyed. There were a lot of flashbacks and flash forwards, which, if it's not done right, can get really confusing if it's badly written. But Hunting Party managed to remain perfectly coherent. It was really easy to follow. The main characters felt really fleshed out. They each had their own backstories, their own complex motivations, their own secrets, and everything felt very realistic. I also really enjoyed the themes around growing up, meeting old friends who all outgrown each other in different ways and not quite being able to connect like you used to. Anyone in their late 20s, me, or older, I think can relate to the idea of growing apart from school or university friends, and not because of any one particular reason, but just because you're different people than who you used to be. Your 20s is a huge time of growth and change, and I'm definitely not the same person I was in my early 20s, thank God. So I can definitely get behind the idea of growing apart from people, not because anyone did anything particularly wrong, but just because you as people have evolved. So on to some of the bad stuff. What I didn't like as much was that some of the characters were neglected, and I'm not really sure why they were in the book in the first place. They mainly felt like props for the other characters' growth or backstories, and I came away feeling like I needed a bit more from them, especially as the bits I did get were really good. I just would have liked to see more from them. Some of the twists were a bit predictable. I had somewhat guessed the main twist at the end, although there was enough doubt enough for me to want to finish it. I'm a big fan of stories that switch points of view. However, in this instance, the voices didn't feel that distinct from one another. I would only really know who was talking if I flicked back and checked the name at the start of the chapter. The points of view also only switched out between 4 different characters, which is reasonable for most stories, but because it was a murder mystery book, it narrowed down the suspect and the murder victim to me pretty quickly. If the suspect and the victim were going to be anyone in the book, it would be one of the people whose head I was in, because that's just how storytelling works. The tension was a bit manufactured at points. The situation itself was very tense. Someone's been murdered, you're going to be quite tense, but the storytelling wasn't. There were a lot of instances of using the pronoun game to keep you guessing who they're talking about, or a lot of stilted dialogue so that everyone avoids saying anything that would give away the twists. So people weren't realistically saying what they would say in that situation, because if they did, you would know what had happened. If you're a fan of murder mysteries and human stories, this is a great book for you. Overall, it's a solid and well-written story. I found it a really enjoyable read, and like I said, I couldn't put it down towards the end. So I would give it 7 out of 10 storms. What isn't a mystery is whether you should like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you liked this. Leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts if you've read the book. Next week I will be reviewing The Twisted Tree by Rachel Burge, so if you've read it, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next week.